going to be because my microphone has been out of commission for a few weeks, I think. And in an act of desperation, I thought about republishing an episode backwards, which sounds like a terrible idea right now. So I may or may not put that out. So I don't know what number this is, but this is ASMR Sleep Station. That is not pod faded or burned out, as some people might say. I've heard that expression a couple times. I'm still here. And I don't make excuses. So I haven't recorded anything because I haven't recorded anything. And a couple things have happened. Somebody wrote in and said, not in a mean way at all, but that they were empathetic and that me being anxious about how the show sounds affects them. So I'm going to stop doing that. And now that I think about it, it's pretty amateur, and it really reflects on how I operate as a person. I let anxiety get the best of me. My doubts slow me down, and this is something that's kind of a creative endeavor. It's kind of something that I want to do on my own and make regardless of what actually happens. So I really shouldn't let that get in the way, because I think in other aspects of my life, anxiety and useless worrying slow me down, and they affect how I act. And in an odd way, the biggest impact they probably make is because of very subtle cues that I give off around people. And over time, they add up, and people pick up on that kind of uncertainty. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. I just want to record something, and I don't really have anything written out or planned. So maybe I'll just do a little catch up for a couple of minutes, and then I still have some articles that I could read, and let me just look at the emails. Thank you to everybody who's written in on the email address, and things catch up soon. Probably not now, because I don't have that information, but let's see here. The last couple of people that wrote in didn't really ask to be talked about, but they gave some good feedback, and people like background sounds, or at least one person does, and minus the anxiety about me freaking out about stuff. So I'm going to try my best. That'll be the compromise. I can't promise that I'll not talk about it, but I'm going to try my best not to freak out about stuff and just to record. And every now and then I listen to the audio on other shows, and I'm definitely not going to call out other shows because I don't have any platform from which to criticize people from. That would be pretty ridiculous. But there's another show from a major news agency, organization, I don't know. And their production is definitely acceptable, and I can hear all kinds of things in the background. And that show gets published all the time, so that was kind of a wake-up call. A couple of times I've noticed, and I'll admit, and if you've been listening to this, you probably know that I have a tendency to be a perfectionist, so I'll admit that I was listening with an overly critical ear. There are times when I have what I call my big headphones on. They are a pair of Sony, I think they're MDR. Let me see if I can look that up. Well, while I'm already going on the computer, maybe I should do some ratings and feedback, and yeah, I think they are MDR. Okay, so MDR now looks like they're the same thing. Sony MDR, they're for studio listening, and I don't even know why I had headphones like that. I got them a long time ago, and I'm trying not to reveal how old I am or be overly nostalgic, because I don't like it when other people do that, but we'll leave it at I listen to music before MP3s. That's pretty nondescript. Anyways, I had these Sony MDR studio headphones, the magnets in them, which I think they affect the magnitude of the sound, and I think to some degree the frequency range. These things had giant magnets in them, and they would even objects sometimes. And I think all headphones, at least over-the-ear headphones, should have some kind of magnet in them. And I still have them, and they work really good. So I was listening to a show with those headphones on, kind of blocking things out. I find myself needing to do that quite a lot. And I heard all kinds of things on this show. But, so yeah, that was kind of a wake-up call. And that was a couple of weeks ago. I was thinking, it's just not appropriate. I don't have a popular show that millions of people are listening to. And if nobody's really complained, then why do I worry about that? That really says a lot about who I am as a person, trying to uphold some imaginary standard of quality, of audio quality, when in actuality I have no idea what I'm doing. And the final product comes out fine. So I'm gonna let go of that. Gotta let go. That's all I've been doing for the past couple of years. Just letting go of things. All the worries and insecurities that I have as a person. And if you have things like that too, that might be the best thing for you to do. Maybe. I'm never gonna tell anyone what to do. But I can say, if you are living in a first world country, which you probably are, and you are emulating how your parents have been, which I think most people fall in a pretty narrow spectrum. This isn't a criticism either, but we're taught to worry, and a lot of it comes from upholding ideals about material goods, aspiring to achieve certain types of social strata and income. All of those things, they inevitably lead to very unnecessary worries and fears. Am I good enough? Am I attractive enough? Can I do this? Am I doing it right? I think and wow, forgive me because I'm really going off on a tangent here, but I guess that's what I've already disclaimed that I'll do. This is gonna happen, so if you don't like tangents, then I apologize, but people who are worried about getting food and surviving and the basics of being alive, which are the things that most animals on this planet are concerned with. They don't worry about the same things we do. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. For me, it's taken up a lot of time and energy, and it has benefited me wasted a lot of time. And, maybe you're trying to relax. Maybe you're trying to fall asleep right now. And if there is one thing that I could really convey, that I could make you feel, it would be to relax and let go of those things. You have almost undoubtedly everything you need in life, and the things that consume you, that take up most of your thinking, are probably about things you don't need. It's probably about ridiculous things. Let that stuff go and accept what you have and be thankful. Pretend it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, whatever one. You can pretend every day of the year is a day to be thankful for what you have, and detach yourself from social structures and money and possessions. And I think that'll make you happy. I think you can be happy once you realize what you have. It's never too late to let go. You might have something stressing you out. It's been repeating in your mind and resonating in everything you do, always chattering in the background. You're making that happen. It's confusing sometimes because there are so many different sources of stress that become fixtures in our lives, and we forget. I forget. Maybe you don't. I think I'm projecting myself a lot on other people, but maybe this is accurate. I don't know. But I think we forget that those things are self-perpetuated. They're not real. They're things that only exist in our mind. And that's what holds us back. It's the small things, the subtle things. If you think about your idols or heroes or people that you aspire to be, maybe you want to make lots of money or invent something or make some art or do something meaningful or influence a lot of people or own something. The people that achieve those things, I think most of them understand that there's not really a lot of things holding you back, but the things that keep us down, that suppress us, are subtle, and they come from ourselves. if you're in a first world country. Alright, I'm gonna stop there. If you got anything out of that, I'm happy. Um, if not, then maybe it made you pass out. Because at this point, I might be like some guy at a party that's just talking your head off. And what do they call that? Waxing poetic about nonsense. And you just wish you would stop talking. I think that's kind of funny. I'm not being self-deprecating. I was actually being kind of goofy, but I think it's that type of long-winded speaking makes people tired, makes you drift. So maybe that worked. Maybe that didn't. Maybe that actually helped you to realize something. Who knows? I'm not a certified motivational speaker, but I think I took a very long time to state the obvious, which is that you're your own worst enemy. I was gonna say one more thing. Let go of stuff and relax, and just be who you are for a while. That always helps me. When I talk to other people, that's almost always something that comes up. People not expressing themselves, suppressing something, holding something back, holding something from another person, and then they eventually reach a point where there's that moment of truth, and that's the part that helps you get out of whatever predicament you might be in. You gotta bottom out before you can go back up. It is like being caught in a current. That's how I see life. And if you feel like I'm imposing, then sorry, but this is something that I feel like I have to tell people. It really feels like a current. You have to let go and get sucked under, and admit to yourself that you were fighting the ocean, that you were struggling against something that you couldn't accept, that you thought, whatever it is. And it wasn't until you accepted it and let yourself get sucked under that you could find your way out. That sounds terribly corny, but that's really how I see things right now. And I'm sure my views will change. They always do. I have some kind of condition where I'm just constantly reflecting on things that have happened and being overly analytical and introspective. who suffer the most are the addicts who struggle against being addicts. They can't admit who they are and what they're doing with their life. And until that happens, they're fighting the current. Wow. Once again, I amaze myself by how long I can talk about. I don't even know how I got on this topic. Let's see here. I'm gonna go through this email. And I think if this person sent me an email on March 8th, 2015, if they're still listening, then they're probably aware of who they are. So thank you for sending that in. I appreciate it. They're not into the tapping, and they're not really conducive to relaxing. So that makes me think that I should just stick with my original plan, which was to just whispering only, whispering and reading stuff, the clicking and stuff like that. If people want that, you can go on YouTube. And if I've come across negative in the past, I apologize for that. And other people have picked up on that. There are just so many ASMR YouTube accounts with collectively billions of views. And I'm not kidding. I don't know what motivates people. I'm skeptical, and I have strong suspicions that there are people who are really trying to contribute things and be part of a community. And I think there are other people that are trying to make some money off of it. And I'm not even sure how much money you can make off of YouTube advertisements. Maybe it's a lot. I don't think it is. I don't think you could make a living off of it. Not unless you're, somewhere in the whatever top 100, top 1,000 YouTube makers. Those videos that get in the whatever tens of millions, or those guys make lots of money. The other people, I think, are trying to make a buck on the side, which is cool. I don't hold that against them, but I don't know, and I don't even know why. I guess it's become played out and commonplace. Maybe that's why I have a little bit of resentment there, and I need to let go of that. That's not, I don't need to carry that with me. Good for them. It's a community that I've seen change a lot over the years, and I think there was a part, somewhere in the beginning when I first started recording these. I was trying to figure out what year I started doing honest. I don't, or what year I started finding the ASMR community on YouTube. It was a long time ago. Maybe 2007, 8, 9, I don't know. It definitely wasn't like it is now. And that, who cares? That doesn't matter anyways. I'm extra rambly right now, and I'm gonna be extremely honest and explain to you exactly why. It's Scotch whiskey. It's right here in my hand right now. Makes me rambly when I drink. It's excuse me. And we don't need to get into scotch. We'll save that for another time. The person that emailed me, which was a great email, by the way. I'm still talking about it. In case you've dozed off, or maybe you've woken up and missed the middle. Well, same email, same emailer. And they asked if I was Canadian. I'm not. And I don't really know what I sound like. I try not to listen to myself, but I've lived in a few different places, and I've heard a few times people saying that I sound like somewhere they're familiar with, or even making fun of me. Here's a funny story. I think I just cracked my knuckle there. My throat's making all kinds of strange sounds. Hopefully that doesn't wake you up. I was really into a game a long time ago. I want to say in the last quarter of 2007, I started playing a game called EVE Online, and it's that game ate up a lot of time, or I should say, I allowed it to. And I used to listen to a couple of podcasts about that game. I left one of their podcasts a voicemail, and it was pretty funny. They were making fun of the way that I spoke, and at first I was a little shocked, but then I thought it was funny because of where I'm from. So some people think that I have a strange way of speaking, other people don't, and it's just so subjective. I'm not Canadian though. I'm American, and I lived in a few different places. A while ago, I to say that when I moved around a lot when I was younger, there was a time, I think for like 12 or so years, where I averaged moving every couple of years. That could be an exaggeration. I forget the exact number. It doesn't matter. I moved around a lot. I'm not a military person. Or maybe I am, and I'm lying. I could be a liar. I could work for the NSA. I could be a liar about that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Okay, so that concludes that email. Excellent email. I'm not going to name any names. So it's already getting pretty long, and I'm out of the two emails. I'm on 2 of 2 that I'm going to talk about, and then I'll go through the reviews and ratings, which I think there might be 1 or 2 new ones, and that'll be it for this one. And I think I might record another episode or recording or whatever you want to call it. That way, even if I have delays, there should be another one out soon. I've been talking to myself for so long, I don't remember if I apologized. If you're listening to this show and you're not asleep, which is pretty amazing, I really do apologize. It's useless to be sorry when it doesn't change anything, but if you were expecting more episodes to come out and you've been disappointed, then I really am sorry that you're disappointed. And I'll make sure this one comes out. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Monday. Monday the 16th. Let's see our statistics. There were thousands of downloads in February, less than January. And that's probably because not a whole lot happened in February. Only 1 episode. So I'm going to pick up the pace. Things have leveled out, but I'll keep making these. And as long as I got a couple of extra bucks to upload these things, I'm going to keep doing it. People give me good feedback. I think I'm making people tired. And that makes me happy. Another person wrote in on March 12th, a few days ago. They didn't ask for this to be read, and I want to respect that. So, they're saying that they hope I haven't stopped, and themselves some sleep, and they've missed the new recordings. So hopefully you're still listening. And thank you for writing in. And I'm gonna keep doing this. I just have to get organized and make more time. I'll try to, these aren't excuses. I don't like when people make excuses. A long time ago, I heard a story of somebody that, I forget if it was their job interview or their first day of work. They were late, and they said, I don't make excuses. I'm late because I'm late. It doesn't matter why. And I forgot what their final remark was. I don't know. It's not gonna happen again. Or I obviously didn't intend for this to happen. So there it is. That's my explanation. And whoever it was that they were explaining this to respected that, because of its unorthodox nature. People always make excuses, and especially for latency. But if you're just honest, and you don't try to BS people, you don't try to invent reasons and things that have slowed you down, they might appreciate that. Because if you're in their position, you don't care. It doesn't matter why. So I think I was using that to preface, to explain what's happened in the past few weeks, but now I'm not going to say what happened, because it doesn't matter. You probably don't care. You're probably trying to fall asleep. I hope you're getting tired. I am. And this scotch is making me tired too. So thank you to that other person that wrote in. Let's see if I can get let's see, the last comment. If you're still awake, thank you. I can't thank people enough for downloading this. It's not like I even really get to interact with you. Oh wow, looks like there's a lot more ASMR stuff up on the at least the iTunes store. And I think when I get a few more episodes, I'll try listing this in other places, just in case there are people who want an ASMR podcast that don't listen to iTunes podcasts or don't agree with iTunes. I think there are some people that have ethical problems with proprietary nature of iTunes and Apple and all the funny things they do. podcast got quite a few downloads, it looks like. Okay, 31 ratings. Here's the distribution. 5 stars, 20. 4 stars, 6. 3 stars, 3. 2 stars, 1. 1 star, 1. I don't remember where I left off. Let's see. I think I know I read the one by Astronomer. ASMR Chick said, new favorite, January 25th. Awesome. This really helps. There's a heart and some symbol that I can't read. I'll just keep going from there. Starlight Lady 59 said, it's great. ASMR Sleep Station is so wonderful. 5 stars. Thank you. That's very touching. I feel validated as an internet user, uploader. I don't know what I am. Mega Pain says, I only have you to thank. You're my savior of sleep. Undefined symbol. I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but I don't know. Maybe I don't have the wing ding font set. That was titled Got My Sleep Back. February 3rd. I hope you're asleep now, because this has been a long recording. I amaze myself every time I do this. The real age, I guess that is. They say really great, 5 stars, February 22nd. This is a really great podcast. I always listen to this guy. He has a gift. Thank you. That's really, really nice. I don't know how to say the name. Post-methodic. I'm sure that means something. I'm a little too dense right now to get it. I'll look it up. Anyways, posted on March 8th. Please grace us with another episode. Wow, thank you. That's what I'm doing right now. The message reads, my father used to whisper into my ears each night before I fell asleep to help keep my night terrors away. Being a physicist, he used to lull me to sleep with awe-inspiring tales of the life and death of stars and the like. Now, decades later, nothing comforts me more than nocturnal whispers. My ASM response comes and goes with this podcast, as it usually does in all scenarios. But I am hooked. Do the Sleep Station tour. I'm sure you're busy. I'm sure you're a busy bee, but man, would I appreciate another dose of your voice. And my response to that would be that easily one of the nicest things anybody's written about this. I'm glad it's working for you, and I will definitely put some more physics in there in the future. I love astronomy. There's a lot of fun stuff going on at the Large Hadron Collider in is it Switzerland or France or both? I always forget. Anyways, at CERN, lots of physics. Lots of categorizing new types of potentials for life. Researchers are constantly trying to profile planets, and there's just always fun stuff going on. I want to say a couple of weeks ago, there was even somebody challenging the Big Bang Theory, saying that, I don't remember, something about the evidence that we use may not be accurate, and the Big Bang, as we currently theorize it, may have never happened. That's exciting. And I have to throw in, as I always have, that there was, I don't remember what it was. I can't remember if it's new or if I just found it recently, but there was somebody talking about the simulation hypothesis on Coast to Coast AM, a really fun radio show, and I will get into that more. I think I keep reading like a few sections of journal articles at a time, and there's an almost limitless supply of physics that I could read that's relevant, interesting if you're awake, maybe a little hard to listen to as opposed to reading. And if you can't handle it, then it will probably make you really tired, which is perfect in a way. And that's not to demote physics in any way. It's just that for laymen to physics, which is almost everybody, myself included, it's very difficult to understand anything. It is as abstract as you could get. Maybe second to mathematics, theoretical mathematics, maybe. So, I don't know why I'm so apologetic. If there are any physicists defendant, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say physics is boring. That's what I really want to express. I'm just saying you can make people tired if they don't know exactly what's being talked about, which like I said is almost everybody. That's hard stuff to know. Quantum mechanics. Last time I was talking about quantum eraser experiments. That stuff is so obscure. I don't know how many people know about that, but it's not many. If you're not at a major university campus and the physics department isn't nearby, you're going to be hard-pressed to find anybody who can talk about quantum eraser experiments. Although, to me, those experiments are easily some of the most interesting physical phenomena I've ever heard. And if you get something out of that, that's awesome. If you don't, I hope you pass out. Okay, the last one from Nose Goblin 10012, March 9th. First male voice to give me the tingles. Another 5-star review. I've only gotten through about a minute, but I'm a subscriber now. That's very touching. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I don't really know what benefit I get from that, but I appreciate it. least seems to be. Wow, there's a lot of related podcasts in the iTunes store. Anxiety Slayer. Wow, that's an interesting thing. Anyways, coming up on an hour. This is the longest thing I've recorded. If this kills the battery to whatever you're listening to it on, I'm sorry. If you're still awake and you wanted to fall asleep, I'm sorry. If you're still awake and you wanted to be awake and listen to me ramble, you're welcome. I think I've talked for a really long time. Hopefully I have the energy to keep going. I actually have some work laid out in front of me, and I've spent the entire time just staring at a microphone. And I have my scotch out in front of me. Whoops. I'm gonna take a break, and then maybe I'll continue with some more physics. I don't remember where I left off last time, but I got a bunch of articles. Man, this is a long recording. I hope it worked. I hope you're asleep right now. I guess you're one or the other. Maybe the longer the recording, the more extreme the result is. You've either passed out or you're more awake. I have no idea where that article went. That's unfortunate. Maybe I lost it. Weird. I usually don't lose stuff like that. But I do have some notes. I've got a lot of stuff that I wanted to read. And maybe some old books too. If you want to complain or make a suggestion or confess a terrible secret that you don't want anybody to know except for me, or you want to talk about your problems or something, or you have suggestions, which is what most people write in about. Most people suggest something, and it really gets taken into consideration and affects what I do. Then you could email asmrsleepstation@gmail. And I think I put it on the iTunes listing. I read those things, I respond to them, and I don't have any personal interest in this show other than that I want to make it good for you. I want to make it functional. I want to stop thinking of things in terms of good or bad. I just want to make something. How's that? And I'm doing that. this time for the hiatus. Thank you for sticking with me if you have. If you're downloading this for the first time, and maybe you're in some crisis and you can't sleep, I hope you're asleep. Everyone else, I hope you got what you want to.